Sandra all the time is here with the cold hard truth. She's the ears and the eyes for me and you. Every day, everyone want to hear from Sandra. And every time on the air, she's getting better. Tell your sister, tell your brother, tell your mama. Call Sandra in the morning and in the evening. They always calling Sandra. And when they start fighting, they calling Sandra.
That's right, folks. Everyone is telling their mama about the cold hard truth. Welcome to another episode with more truth telling, more problem solving, and of course, more tea spilling than ever before. Sit back, students, grab your tea and turn up the volume because class is now in session. Call in at 936-2626 because your voice matters. Share your opinion on issues that matter the most to you. Good morning, K-Man. Happy Friday. How is everybody doing this beautiful Friday morning? Well, I say it's beautiful, and I've not even looked out the window yet. Oh, looks like a little bit of rain in our lives, but guess what? It's still beautiful because we're alive. We're kicking. Some of us are healthy. Let's get it, right? That counts for so much. OMG. Ay. Looking at the news this morning. Some days I just have to say, what a mess. What a hot mess. All right, let me see what's going on. Um, Look like those people in East End are misbehaving, getting more messages about them this morning, defacing political signs. Oh, Lord, are you all that desperate to get elected to public office? Come on now. That's certainly not the kind of behavior um, that we need to be seeing. Wow. They're blaming it on one particular candidate. Well, I don't know who's doing it, but you guys could easily get some cameras put up. Yeah. And then you'd know exactly who's doing it. I can tell y'all how to do it where they don't even know that the camera's up. Yes, honey, chill. Ay. What a mess, y'all. What a mess, I tell you. Okay, let me see what we got going on here this morning. Miss Julie Hunter is joining us. We're waiting for her to come on. We're going to do her first, get that done. And then we will have some, I don't know how much open mic opportunity we're actually going to have, to be honest, because time's a little bit tight these days. All right. Let's see. Second sign. Oh, they've defaced another one of Isaac's signs. They said some of Jiva's signs are being, two of her signs have been damaged as well. And they're blaming the PPM candidate for this. Oh my gosh. Well, that's interesting. Like I said, I have no clue who's behind any of it. Not a good look for anybody, I think, at the end of the day. It really, really isn't. Shows a level of desperation. Why are you guys? And it doesn't have to be the candidates. Let me talk about this while we wait on Miss Julie to come on. It certainly doesn't have to be the oh God. Oh my gosh. What's his name? Morning Boots posting stuff in his chat group this morning. Oh, poor him. Yeah, poor him. Oh my gosh. Now he's claiming that we're bullying him. Oh my God. Is he serious? Mr. South African extraordinaire claims that we're bullying him. I wonder when he was making his comments about the LGBTQ community, misinformation, I should add, which should be sued. He should be sued for that. And I wonder when he was busy suing other people, environmentalists, for their opinion, if he thought that that was actually bullying. Wow, you guys are what a bunch of cowards. People like Morn Boots, cowards, straight up. Yep. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. He can dish it out and he can say all stuff, all sorts of, as them old people would say, all manner of evil about people. And heaven forbid people should say a little truth about him. He can't take it. He's posting in chat groups this morning that he's being bullied. Wow. I tell you what, somebody said to me yesterday, Sandy, this is why, I don't even believe in giving people status, because as soon as they get status, which is basically irrevocable unless he commits a serious crime, at the end of the day, it's impossible to do anything about them when they start to show their real colors. And trust and believe me when I tell you, people like him, their real colors are not beautiful colors of the rainbow like my shirt here this morning. Oh no, their real colors are something else. Very, very interesting indeed. Thank you for sharing those comments with me this morning, listener to the program. And I don't feel one bit of pity for Morning Boots. I hadn't even got to address him sufficiently yet. And I'm addressing him on the facts of all the misinformation that he's trying to put out there. It's shocking to me that someone can be so political. I've seen him commenting all over the place, right? The dude has status, doesn't even bother to vote, but he is trying to influence voters. Oh, what's wrong with my back screen today? Oh, that looks horrible. I think I need to adjust the color. I'll get my remote and sort that out. So he is in the comment section having the most to say, and we must just leave him alone. You know, he sued poor little Linda. Linda had to leave Cayman because of him in his constant lawsuits. Even little Miss Debbie Pendergast Ebanks' daughter, he even was threatening her. Little young Caymanian girl. He threatened her into silence. She was so afraid because, of course, you know, she's only in her early 20s. She doesn't quite know how to go up against the real bullies like Morny Boots. And so he doesn't see that as bullying, but because I try to set him straight with his ridiculous comments, all of a sudden I'm the bully. You see, Morny Boots, you're a coward. You're what I call a first-rate coward. Yeah? You can't handle the truth. And the truth is, you're just here to use this country to squeeze every little dime that you can out of it. You don't give two cahoots about our environment, the people, or anything else. So you can call me a bully all you want because I'm speaking the truth in you, but nothing's going to change. You know, go put some Vicks Salve on your feelings this morning so you can feel better about it. I don't know how to placate you, but I'm not here to do that. That's not my job. I'm here to tell the cold, hard truth. Bobo, and you obviously are not ready. What I suggest you do is, if you have such a issue with people addressing your public statements that you're making all over the place, then how about you don't make those public statements for people to respond to? People have a right to respond to you. Oh, maybe not where you're from. I mean, I don't know what parts of South Africa you're from. You know, I wouldn't have a right there to speak back to you, but this ain't South Africa. This is the beautiful Cayman Islands. We have, you know, accepted people from all over the world. And we try to get along with everybody. But still, you kind of have to know your place. You know, right now, if you were in the United States of America, let me be very, very clear. You know, Trump would be showing you who's in charge. He's pulling degrees and scholarships and everything else from people because they're choosing to share their opinion and speak up. That's not what's happening to you, Bobo. We're just trying to set the facts straight. And I get that you don't like it because very few people like the truth. And somehow that isn't my problem. You, of all people, who were suing people for their opinion. Wow. I am flabbergasted by your lack of a spine, by your lack of testicular fortitude. Wah, wah, wah. That's what I have to say to you this morning, honey chill. You guys can imagine this big time Morny Boots developer is in a chat group this morning saying that I'm a bully. And people, oh, anybody who pays her is supporting a bully. Let me show you guys the comments because you're not going to believe this dude. He is loco. Like I'm flabbergasted, but you see, I expect you to be able to take it. If you dish it, you should be able to take it, right? Wow. Well, apparently not. Because have a look at what he's getting all up in his feelings for. And the crazy thing is, Morny Boots, you don't have to look at CMR. Let me remind you, you can block a page where you see nothing from them whatsoever. Do I need to go through blocking a page 101 for y'all this morning? If you are offended by anything that CMR posts, I'm going to help you grow at least one of those little nonads that's supposed to be in your shorts, in your pants. Okay? You go on Facebook, you tell Facebook you don't want to see anything from that page, and you simply block it. You don't read CMR, but you see, this dude is all over the place. He's even on TCCP's page in their comment section, telling them off and he think that people are not going to address him. Well, maybe TCCP and CINP, maybe they're not going to address you because he's totally pro PPM, and we know what that's all about. Because nobody gave away more concessions than the PPM government for the time that they were in. Nobody favored big developers more than PPM. So we know exactly what he's all about. Okay, we get it, Morning. You're here to ride whoever is going to be to your benefit. You're going to be supporting them, right? How about if you'd gotten registered to vote, you could throw a vote towards them and support them that way, instead of getting in the comment section, hating on people and telling straight up lies, right? What have I said about this man that would make him feel like I'm a bully? Because I'm addressing, his disdain and hate for a son of the soil, Mr. Wayne Panton. Morning Boot, somebody like you can't even hold forget to hold candle. You can't even hold one flicker of flame up to Mr. Wayne Panton, who's done so much to help people in this community, to help poor, underprivileged people. This man has sent so many people off to university. They have been educated and have degrees and all this stuff because of him. What have you done to benefit the Cayman Islands? Putting up your ugly structures, boggy sands, and all these places on barely a little piece of land, that does not help the people of the Cayman Islands. That takes away from our natural beauty. Caller, I'm trying to get you where I can actually hear you. Morning. Give me 1 second, honey. Yeah, because I'm playing with the little thing here, so I can hopefully. Hello? I still can't hear you. Let me just restart the phone. Call me back in about 30 seconds. I'm just going to restart everything here. Yeah. So, heaven forbid that somebody should set these people straight. They get offended. Well, I can tell you what. I honestly don't care if you get offended. Let me be very, very clear. Oh, there you are, Morning Boots. Oh, he says you are a bully. You've attacked so many minors and minorities on this platform. Really? So many minors. You see, once again, someone who loves to sue people for misinformation. Here we are again. He's doing the exact same thing. You see, Mornay, if I were like you would have already had a lawsuit, which so many minors. There was one incident with one young lady, and her and I have long gotten past that. She was on the show apologizing for her behavior, by the way, in case you missed that episode. So many minors would be who? You're a minor? I mean, you're acting like a 12-year-old for sure. Are you a minor? And minorities, you consider yourself a minority in this country. Lord Jesus, I want you to take a look at me. Morning Boots. My name is Sandra Teresa Hill. I am the one who's a minor in this country as a Caymanian. Okay? Have you seen a native iguana recently? They're minors in this country, just like Caymanians. You, on the other hand, is not a minor in this country. I mean, a minority. My apologies. Well, you might be a minor too, but you're not a minority in this country. You're the one who's obsessed with Wayne Panton. So I'm giving you a little dose of your obsession. Every time you post something, I'm going to address it. So now he says, I'm obsessed with him. Well, you're such a good looking guy. Of course, I'm going to be obsessed with you. I hope y'all know what it means to be facetious. Caller, I'm still trying to, give me 1 second. It's still not working here. Hello? Oh, there we go, honey child. Good morning. Can you believe it? I'm such a bully. Morning, honey child.
Sandy. let's talk riffraff.
Oh my goodness, honey child.
Let's talk riffraff. This island and the government and the laws, immigration have to be changed.
Right?
People come here like myself, and embrace this country, embrace the people of the Cayman Islands.
Mm.
And then you have people like this Morny guy and many others like him that come here and try to change and think that they are above the laws, can do whatever they want to do, act however they want to act, and they get a pass.
Yes.
They get a pass.
Yep.
Immigration has to change.
Absolutely.
Status cannot be so difficult to be removed from these people who are ungrateful, inconsiderate, disrespectful, and just down and out rude.
I agree.
I am sick and tired of watching this country go in the direction that it's going, letting all this riffraff from all over come in here just because they have a few bucks in their pocket or they have a college education. Still, they fall in the category of riffraff.
Yep, absolutely.
So people get out there and vote the right people in, make sure we're going to get immigration reform, and things are going to be changed. Because this continues the path it's going, the Caymanian people, excuse me, are screwed.
You better believe it. You better believe it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, honey child. And I want to say good morning to all of the people who have come to this country, such as that caller, and integrated properly into our community. Thank you very, very much. And thank you for respecting and understanding, quite frankly, what this country is all about. Because this Morning Boots has no idea. And here's the thing about him. He has been at this a long time. Let me show you guys some of his messages, some of the evidence. Someone just sent me a link going back to 2021. You think it only lately that Morning Boots has found his balls and has the audacity to disrespect Caymanians in our own country? I mean, let's be very, very clear here. He is something else. And we have the proof in his own words of the type of person that he actually is. He is a disgusting person. And there's no two ways about it. And that's my opinion, Morning Boots. You can sue me all you want. Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, honey.
I agree with that man 200%. He needs 6 kabooms. Can you hear? He is a foreigner. And you hear how he speaks? I agree with him. Yes, that's how it is. And yes, things need to be changed because some of these people are ridiculous. You saw the ugly nasty fight out by Foster yesterday. Disgracing her island. You never see that?
Yes, ma'am.
I was trying to send it to you, but
yeah, we have it. We have it up already. We have it up already.
I tell you, this island, yes, and that's why we need TC. They talking about Pantan, but we need that because if we get in other government, what a man said, we are screwed because I don't know who this whole ugly thing is that I see, but yeah, that's it, and that's how he is. He's one of them people that tit for tat and butter for fish. You broke my sauce, I broke your dish, but then he wants to hit on people, and then when people hit back on him, he can't take it. So that goes to he's a coward and a big mouth. They should bust his mouth.
Yeah.
He's an ugly piece of old white shit.
Oh! Can't use any language like that on the radio, my dear.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes. Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's not.
I gotta remind y'all now. You gotta follow the rules. Hold on, honey child. I'm coming. Oh gosh, the phone line's hot this morning. 1 second, Miss Joyce, and you calling the wrong phone. I think you gotta call the show number. Immigration giving riffraff the power to denigrate our own Caymanians. Make it make sense. Only in Cayman. Sandy, show him who's the boss. Block him. This is not South Africa. Where the hell is that flight out? And this person says, when South Africans were being bullied, when Africans or South Africans were being bullied, where was he? Well, I don't know where he was, but I bet you one thing. I could bet you money he wasn't standing up for nobody. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Morning, Miss Joyce.
Good morning. These things make my blood boil.
Oh my God.
You know, you're going to people country. Who do you think you are?
I would love to know. I would love to.
Sometimes it just grieves my spirit. I live in people country. I see things I don't like. I keep my mouth shut.
Absolutely.
Because I know I don't have any right. Who am I? You don't like it, pack your bag and go back in your yard. Yeah? And many days that we think come with money, they never had $1 when they come here.
I hope you
but
know.
True, they got a little color. They go into the bank and the bank make them rich. You hear what I tell you? I remember one of them that went to Scotiabank and borrowed. He had just come and get a job, $1 million. Scotia, I don't know where he is today. Didn't even finish the job. Went, so he was buying place. Yes. And these are the things. So we see them, they come and go on like they had something. Go back to where some of them come from. They had nothing. K-Man has made them who they are. And then they come and want to stand up and step up on us. Listen, you know you're going to man country, respect the people. And if you can't respect the people, leave. Because our forefathers sweat to make K-Man what it was. I can remember Mr. to kill me. Where was he? Please, these people need to go back where they come from. I am one that love foreigners. I accept foreigners because I've been in people countries and I have no problem with foreigners. But when they disrespect my little island, I have a problem. When you disrespect me and my people, go back where you come from. Because obviously you're hard.
Yes, absolutely. It's very, very simple. And Morning Boots, for the record, we are happy to donate to your ticket to make sure that you can have a first. As a matter of fact, Morning, we will do you one better. We will actually ensure that you have a first class one-way ticket out of here. We're not going to send you on economy. We want you to feel special. Yes,
but
my
you
dear.
know something, but a lot of them South Africans that got little color, they're the most prejudiced. Even their own Africans, they walk and step up on them like they're somebody, you know? So what they gonna want to do with us? They're gonna want to do the same thing. K-Man status needs to be one hard thing for anyone to get.
Everyone's asking me to block him, but I'm not gonna block him. Make him
let him stay right there.
Make him sit right here and
let him
continue.
Yes. Obviously, he talked about you obsessed, but he must be obsessed with you because every day this is your show.
Yeah.
And if he or anybody else don't like it, when I don't like something, I go somewhere else or you don't listen. Simple.
Yeah.
All right, you all have a beautiful weekend. God bless the Cayman Islands.
And beautiful. And since he seems to think that it's only me, here we are with him. He talking about I'm obsessed with him. Well, you're obsessed with me, Wayne Panton, and other people in this country. So much so, sir, that I'm going to remind you. Let's pull up the evidence back in 2021 and way before that. And since that, how many people you've sued, you've threatened to sue, how many people you have been bullying and harassing because someone told you that you were somebody special in this country. Good morning, caller.
Hold on, let me turn down the TV.
Yes, ma'am. Morning, honey child. I know you have first-hand experience with this man.
Oh, my ears just, you know.
They must have been burning this morning.
And oh boy, I could feel myself being triggered. I picked up the phone, I put it down, I picked it up, and I put it down, and I said, no, I can't let this become like a abscess this morning and bust open. So, Morn Bates, if you are listening this morning.
How is he pronounced it? Bates? Boots? What's his name?
Bates. Morn Bates.
Okay.
Morn Bates, if you are listening this morning, which I'm sure you are, because you are a coward, you have a lot of nerve. Because what really got to me is when you said that he is, and I saw the comment where he says, you are bullying minors. May I remind you, Morn Bates, that my daughter was a minor when you bullied her online for being a big advocate of Barker. And she may not have been his match, but guess who was? Because on social media, online, I told him if he did not take down his comment, that a lawsuit would follow the very next day, and the comments were taken down. Marn Boat, I challenge you today. I challenge you to deny anything I have said and to make. First, let me enlighten the public a little more about this gentleman. A week after those comments were passed and everyone saw them, and he was bullying, and it was a continuous bullying thing until I stepped in, and it was because she was making a lot of comments about Barcas, which is a very big advocate of preserving Barcas, and as we know, he's pretty much destroyed it, right? I don't know who they are. And if I did know who they are, I still wouldn't call their name. But I received a private message on Messenger from expats. And apparently he was on a strata that they were on. And I don't know which complex this is. I don't know which condominium this is. They reached out to me as a group and said they had read those comments. They searched through Facebook. They asked people, and they found out who I was. And they were asking me to screenshot the comments that he had made of my daughter and my reply, because he was such a pain in their backside, which I know is allowed to be said on the air. So I'd like for her to say something else. They would do anything to try to get him off the strata. They're his own expats that could not even stand him being on the strata. They said he is the biggest pain in the backside and a hateful person, and they wanted to use those screenshots to their advantage. I don't know what happened afterwards, but I know I certainly sent them the screenshots, and I hope he's no longer at strata. So, Marmot, you're listening this morning. Why don't you talk about you being the perpetrator of bullying minors, because she was 18 at the time, maybe 17, until I shut you down. Because if he thought that I was joking, in fact, I told him I was in Linda Clark. This wasn't a Linda Clark he was playing with. So I hope that he has just swallowed that, digested it, and spit it back out.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's got a lot of nerve to say that you're bullying minors. I cannot help myself.
Oh my God.
17, 18.
He got more nerve than a toothache.
Yep, he's going to be very, very silent. But I challenge him to call my name in a public forum, or call her name ever again. Because with I on him, a gorilla wouldn't have as much speed and strength. Anyway, that's my
Thank you, honey child.
Have a good morning.
Somebody said demons don't like the truth. Well, we got some round, I can tell you what. Hi. Oh my God. Somebody says he's obsessed with me. Well, he's the one who is, he talks about obsession. Thank you so much, Carla, for sharing that, because I don't get to see all of the comments, but here's one. Let me show you his history, and my apologies for not getting to all your comments, because obviously we got over 500 people listening already, and this has really blown up because so many of you have had experiences with this man. Here we have our own Eden Hurlston, again, a son of the soil, back in December of 2021, posting about him, where he said some things to him, and he's attached screenshots to this. He says, some sage advice for me this morning from Morning Boots of COE Group Limited that reminds me why I'm a rascal. See screenshots attached. He believes that trying to safeguard a meaningful future for my child in my homeland is me being obsessed with him. Oh, so he likes this word obsessed. Oh, Morning Boots, I see you, boo boo. I see what you're up to. Wow. Okay, then. You like to say that people are obsessed with you when in fact you're the one who is obsessed with other people. So he was saying that Eden Hurlston was obsessed with him too? Oh, honey child, please, you're not that special. I mean, I'm sorry, but you're really not that special. Like, what? People obsessed with you? You must be crazy. Anyway, let's continue. He believes that our fight for Cayman is based around him. It's not. It's based around our kids deserving opportunity, peace, and shade trees in their native land. The haze of true hubris. I'm thankful to this guy for uniting rascals, and thankful that he has shown me, a simple, sad savage native, so clearly the difference between right and wrong. Before I blocked all co-group ads from my Facebook, blocked him from my WhatsApp. Hold on one second, honey child. Block him from my WhatsApp and reinvent myself and just be with my family, just like your sage advice entails. Oh, he was telling you that? Oh, honey child. But I need to fight for my homeland because I can't ignore the feelings of dishonor, disgrace for my son's future and my grandparents rolling in their graves at what we're doing to this island. They sweat, bled, prayed, and cried for. You do not have this connection, so you see my homeland as an ATM. I get it. You don't know any better. Well, I think he knows better. He just doesn't care to do any better. Anyway, good luck with your endeavors, Morning. And I hope Christmas treats you well. Do not ever contact me again after threatening to sue me and calling the cops to, what the, he called the cops? This man, wow. After threatening to sue me and calling the cops to arrest me, seems highly inappropriate that you should message me, but thank you for your caring advice. So he calls the cops on somebody else, and then I cannot believe this. And then they're the ones bullying him. Wow, he is different. Good morning, honey child. I haven't seen such a hot mess in a long time.
Yeah, we got it here. We got it here. But you know what I want to tell my Caymanian people?
Oh my God.
If you notice, I don't disrespect any candidate that is running because they're my people. I really don't want many of them and will not vote for them, but I do not have to disrespect them, and I don't. That's why most of the time I don't have any comments to say. I know I'm not going to vote for them. PPM is not for me. I don't have to cuss PPM. I just have to go to the 30th of April and put my vote and vote for who I want. No disrespect. And I call back to tell our Caymanians we need to stick together. We need to stop the fighting. We need to forget that if a Thomas Seymour Blackett, okay, this one is this and that one is that. And we need to put it down. We're too small. We are too small a country. This is why they're stepping in. Because we sometimes side up with these people that come here and say they got dollar. And it's us that make them rich. We need to stop it, Caymanians. We need to draw together. We need to stand united. We stand and divided. We fall. Pick the best candidate. We have to get this kind of thing under control. It's out of control. They come, they see us, they look like we're dirt to them. They pass us like they're all this and that. We are who we are. We in our country. We is all this and that. Most Caymanians will not leave home. It's because of this problem that our people have left home. Because of people like him that hate us and push us out and bring in who they want. Listen, Caymanians, I am applauding you to stop all of these concessions that make these people rich to come to walk on us and talk about us and put us down. Let's put our differences aside and fight for what is left for our children. That's my piece on this, because this makes me feel angry.
And that is why, unfortunately, people and parties like the PPM, who have traditionally, been very, very, very much about giving people like him status and concessions, it has got to stop. All right, let's read a few comments, and then poor Miss Julie, she always comes in when it's hot and heated. We're going to pull her into the conversation, but here's what he told Eden. These are screenshot messages, as you can see from WhatsApp, where again, this man has some real nerves. He said, Eden, I understand you are a sad man who has never had success in his life. Wow. Excuse me? You can imagine this man is something else. Anyway, let me just read it. I'm not putting no words in his mouth. I'm telling you guys exactly the type of stuff that he has said to our own Caymanians. He says, you are a sad man who has never had success in his life and blame everyone but yourself. Your family shortchanged you. Oh my God. Johnny Foreigner came here and was a better musician than you. Your obsession, I guess he meant your obsession with me, is understandable, but very unfortunate and time consuming for you. Please take this time instead and devote it to your son or to grow your own business. It is very unhealthy. Wow. If you think hard on yourself, then you can also one day achieve happiness. I will ban you from all company profiles. Oh my God. Once again, telling everybody they're obsessed with him. He apparently is the definition of success. Well, he doesn't look very happy to me. Just because you have money in the bank, son, does not mean that you're successful. People have had more money in the bank than you, and their little hearts are so black. They go home, at night and make everybody's lives miserable. Morning, caller.
Morning, Sandy. How are you?
Boy, I tell you what, I'm doing fantastic. How about you?
I'm okay.
Woo! No, sir.
Wow, you got some hot topics this morning, man.
I tell you what, we get to see people in their real colors, and all I'm doing is showing you in their own words who they are.
Well, I gotta say something mightn't be so what shall I say, so friendly, but it's a fact. Now we can see what Mugabe did, what he did in South Africa.
Yeah.
You want to talk about it, but we got the same thing here, and it's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
And they're really showing the real colors now. I could say a lot, but I will tell you more than you ever heard about the situation that you heard this morning. But I will tell you in person.
All right, honey. Thank you.
So. All right.
Thank you so much.
Have a good day.
Right. Thank you, darling. Another person says he was also on Miss Kathy's page making nasty comments and tagging Wayne and you, Sandy. He needs to go sit his blickety blick down. He vexed because he know that TCCP not giving him what PPM did. He's simply in his feelings. Well, this man has harassed a lot of people. Here he continues and says that if you work hard on yourself, then you can also achieve happiness. And then he says, but now you're just a sad man. This is what he was saying again to our son of the soil, Mr. Eden. And he said, and oh, Mr. Eden he's so sweet. He says, I love you, Morning. I pray that you have a good life without the need to feed your greed. Blessings to your family. Wow. Eden Hurlston, you're a good man. You're a good man. I can tell you that, because I tell you what, I would have had some other choice words for him. But here he is in the comment section tagging me. Yes, there we are, saying that I'm amazed at people's bad memories when reading the comments. Maybe Sandy Hill can remind you all of Eden's legacy and when he quit the PPM in spectacular fashion and banned it all. Okay, so he's talking now about Anthony Eden. So, I mean, dude, why don't you just go sit down? Can I just tell you that nobody really cares about your opinion? Let's do a few more, and then we got to bring Miss Julie in. Let me just see here. Oops. Oh, my apologies. We got so many. We got so many this morning. This one says Morning needs to get back in. Needs PPM, to get back in so that they can get all of his development projects through. Ask him about all those poor West Bay old people that he made feel like they were getting a ton of money for their land. He's slowly gentrifying West Bay while he lives comfortably in his gated community of Webster Estates. He came here without a pot to piss in, on our window to throw it out, took advantage of the older Caymanians in West Bay being nice, until he got status, and then the real Morning Boots came out. He didn't even bother registering to vote, which says even more. Time to expose him too. He is a bully. He likes to threaten people with suing them. That we can see. Whatever happened to Linda Clark for speaking out against him? Well, poor Linda, she was afraid. And so, she ran off, I think, to the UK because she was afraid of Morning Boots. Well, Morning Boots, I want to show you something here this morning. So just give me a second while I am. Oh yeah, we've done that one already. So let me just see. But Morning Boots, there's a lot of people here who are simply not afraid of you, and you would be well advised to know that. Okay, so it's time to stop granting status. So I think we need to be very, very careful who we grant it to. And what we also need to do is we need to ensure that when it is granted and you then come about and show your real colors, that we have a way of easily, and I do mean easily, revoking it. You can get stuff revoked in any other country, including the big United States of America, so big on democracy, way quicker than you can in the Cayman Islands. Good morning, Mr. George, joining us from Greece. So nice to have you here. Miss Sandra Coe says, thank you, Sandy. These blickety-blickety-blick people just needs to be dealt with in a proper manner. Low lives, blickety-blick. Lavana says, I'm so tired of these 1-minute status holders coming here and putting us down. Only here for the almighty CI dollar. This needs to stop. Whoever a new government is, please address this first. Thank you. Siobhan says, should get no blickety blick pass, take these blickety blick status from them and send their blickety blick back from where they've come here because they can't make it where they come from. And instead of being grateful, they look down on Caymanians. Debbie says, Sandy, they're all intimidated and threatened by you, which means you're doing something right. Keep up the good fight. Somebody, he got the wrong memo thinking I'm afraid of him because I don't know who he's talking to. Perla says, if we ever tell these status holders, don't boss me around and we Caymanians stand up, they report us to HR and we get let go because of their ego, they need to go. Sounds like Perla has had some experience there. Jasara, oh yeah, saying that he was tagging me on Kathy's page as well. So while he sits down and tells the rest of us that we're obsessed, I think the obsession is him with Caymanians. He obviously doesn't like to see Caymanians voicing their opinions in their own country because only his opinion matters. Sir, know your place. Seriously. Miss Julie Hunter, good morning, ma'am. My apologies for keeping you waiting this morning. Good morning. Morning.
Morning.
Have I not seen the show?
Yes, sir. We're on air. Over 500, almost 600 people on air.
Have I not seen the show?
Okay. Well, I don't know. Just go on Facebook under live and you should be able to see it.
No problem.
Okay, there. Yes, folks, we are live and direct this morning. Miss Julie.
Good morning, Miss Sandy. You are live and direct. Yes, you're direct this morning. Some things just need to be addressed.
Trust and believe me.
Yes.
Tell me something now. I know you were out there in West Bay when the Riff Raff protest was happening. And, what are your thoughts on people like Morning Boots who come here and want to disrespect Caymanians and tell us that we're bullies? He's now called multiple people bullies, accused us of being obsessed with him. I'm not sure what he thinks that he has that any of us need to be obsessed with. But what are your thoughts?
Sandra, first and foremost, I just want to say that I am not against people coming into our island as long as they integrate with us, as long as they bring something to the table, as long as they respect us, respect our culture, do what they have to do. But when it comes to people that disrespect us like this and that riffraff, that's one of the first things that we need to do when we form this new government. We need to amend our laws so that people like this can have their statuses, their PR, whatever they have, that keeping them in this island that has been the sustenance for them. I agree with some of the callers who said, a lot of them come here and get life, and then this is how they disrespect us. So this is one of the first things we need to do is amend our laws so that people like this have a way back home. Like you said, we need to get them a ticket fast out of here. Some of these statuses need to be revoked. They get statuses and then they show us who they are the minute they get the status. A lot of the people in our workplaces are suffering. I mean, really suffering because of people that have come in and taken over basically after they get status.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but you have to say it like it is. You have to say it like it is.
Yeah, and I mean, this guy has such audacity. Someone just sent me an image of him calling himself, I don't know if he's referring to his kids, as multi-generational. So this is what he said. He said, as a generational Caymanian, woo! You see, we give them status and they think that they're a generational Caymanian. I cannot make this stuff up. Jonathan? Wow. What the hell?
Well,
boy, no, sir. This is rich. This is rich.
Yeah.
He's a generational Caymanian. Even his children would not be a generational Caymanian.
If you're a generational Caymanian, I'm a goddamn North Korean.
And I can tell you one thing, you're definitely not that. Wow.
Well,
this is mind-blowing how these people think. It really, really is.
Yeah, well, it's par for the course, Sandra, and it is not something to be surprised about. This is what Cayman has been allowed to become, and the base root of all of this is greed in Cayman and the allowance for people to come in and buy out the economy and buy out development and so on and so forth. But look, I mean, first of all, let me just quickly address this. The gentleman who called before, right? I mean, I understand this guy is an obstreper, a South African, no damn generational Caymanian. Okay? I don't care what he wants to say. But, here's the dichotomy. We have this gentleman who called you earlier trying to big up Mugabe. Yeah, Mugabe, understanding the history of Africa, understanding the history of Zimbabwe, and what Mugabe did with the land reform program.
I don't want to go down that rabbit hole of some other country's politics.
I'm not going down that rabbit hole, but I will say this. That same said, man, forward tribalism, caused massive corruption, enriching his family, created a culture of rigging elections, destroyed the economy, killed his opponent, and sponsored massive bouts of violence in Zimbabwe. And this guy is not a hero, and he's not to be put forth as a hero. But anyway, moving on from that. You see, when you have somebody so narcissistic, Sandra, that they are the one who is the bully who tries to gaslight anybody else. Okay? This is the man who, because Linda Clark stood up for the well-being of Cayman's environment and mooring boats project out there in Barcas, he was the one who bullied Linda Clark with his financial largesse in order to use what is the fact of the matter here in Cayman and elsewhere, which is he with the goal makes the rules, and he with the goal is able to bring an army of lawyers and beat up on a young lady with all kinds of legal, physiological threats against her for doing one single thing, and that is trying to stand up for the well-being and protecting Cayman's environment out there in Barcas. That is where all of those words come in from Peacock, or whatever his name is coming from, that whole instance back then. Okay, and that is all around the same time of the people-initiated referendum being formulated, which was taken away by our own government from Cayman. This man is the man who is the bully, and he is not alone. And let me tell you all something here in Cayman, same said way. It ain't only the foreigners. It's a lot of Caymanians, a lot of generational Caymanians who have people like him, his back. All right? So before we start thinking that it's just the foreigners who come here to Cayman, take their claim that they are acting alone, they are not acting in a vacuum. They are in cahoots and colluding with crooked politicians. They are in cahoots and they are colluding with bullies of the private sector industry who are generational Caymanians themselves. So let's not get this twisted, Cayman. There's a lot of people here on both sides of that divide who have in the past and continue to do, and given a chance to, will continue to do wrong, and who are the real bullies here in Cayman. I'll let you go there, Sandra, but promise, another promise you, another try call back. Okay? This is what came on.
Oh, my apologies. I muted myself. That's why you guys couldn't hear me, why the radio's gone off. Give me one quick second. Let me just kick the radio back in. 1 second, Miss Julie. We'll bring the radio back on.
I hear the people talking. What are they talking about? This world's gone crazy, and I'm trying to find a way out.
All right, I definitely hear the people talking, but you guys couldn't hear me. So let me just repeat what I said. I was saying that evidently he refers to himself as a generational Caymanian all the time. And so he has made these comments here where he says, do not let a couple of bullies tell you that your opinion does not matter. They love to say not one of us. He goes on to say that my influence in Cayman politics and law is documented. I had success with enhancing the public lands law in 2017. So there you go. Who was in office in 2017? And failures taking on medical insurance, but at no point did bullies stop me. Both my boys will be registered voters the next election, and no one will suppress their opinions. So there he is. What a hot mess. No, my apologies. I had my mic muted. Oh, wow. Mersar says the current government is who encourages their behavior. Imagine being called riffraff in your own country and the government officials reach out to you and advise you should apologize and let's work together. Mm-hmm.
And Sandra, let's not forget that some of our MPs said, we were causing trouble because we went down to do the...
Yeah, well, let's not just say some of our MPs. Let's call them by name. Makiva Bush.
Yes.
Was driving by and telling people that we were troublemakers because we dared to stand up to ourselves, for ourselves. Mm-hmm. Well, very, very unfortunate this morning that the conversation had to go in this direction, because this certainly wasn't the direction that we wanted to go in. But Morning Boots, what I can tell you is, let me be very, very clear. At the end of the day, you are not going to come to my country where my navel string is buried. I don't know where yours is buried, but I can tell you not Georgetown, in not West Bay, in not East End, in not North Side. It's nowhere on these three little rocks. So you're not going to come to this country and disrespect me. It's as simple as that. And you don't get to call me a bully when your egregious actions, including to minors, have far outpaced anything that I have done. And I don't care really, quite frankly, what your opinion is. You are the lowest of the low in this country. And you better learn something called respect, because not everybody that you're going to roll up on and be disrespectful to, like Mr. Eden or myself, is going to just talk to you with words. One of these days, you'll roll up on the wrong kind of person. And you mightn't even know who they are, because they might be wearing a suit and looking nice and proper, and they're going to thump you on your head. And then what are you going to do? Oh, you run and call the police on them too? You're an idiot. Anyway, Miss Julie, we know that you're in the middle of a campaign, looking lovely as ever, and you're really focused and doing your door-to-door and trying to address some of these issues. Whoever gets in, if immigration reform is not at the top of your list come May the 1st, we're going to have a problem, because we're going to be riding your behinds like you do not know what. Immigration reform trickles down into every single area of our lives. We cannot be fighting the Morning Boats of the world, the Larrys of the world, the Chris's and whatever the heck her name was, Karen's and whatever of the world, and expect that this country is going to grow strength to strength, is going to continue to be cohesive. We cannot be third-class citizens in our own countries, and that really is the bottom line. Not only should we have a piece of the pie when we do the right things, because I'm not here advocating that Caymanians have a piece of the pie just because. I mean, this is our country, but we have to do things the right way, and we are willing to work hard, willing to educate ourselves, take no shortcuts, but this is still our country, and we have got to come first in our own country.
Right. And if we don't come first in our own country, where can we go and come first? That's basically the bottom line. No other country is going to take us in and say, you're first in their country. So this is our country, and we need to do what we need to do here. And top of that would be immigration reform, because like you said, that trickles down into every aspect of our lives. Sandra, I am sorry to say that, but if we do not get immigration sorted, if you think we have crime now,
oh my God,
I don't even want to think what the next few years is going to be like if we don't get immigration sorted.
Yeah. I mean, as they say, dog and eat our supper, and it's going to be as simple as that. Yeah. So we got to prioritize and get it right. And again, this is not about trying to make any foreigner feel any way. I mean, don't get up in your feelings here this morning, folks. I've got a lot of friends who have been granted status. They're respected individuals. They know how to respect Caymanians. They come here and they do the right thing. And we're happy to have you here as an invited guest. But let me be very, very clear about that. Just like when I lived in the United States of America for 15 years, I was an invited guest in that country. And I always reminded myself of that and always knew that. And there were certain things, quite frankly, that I would not do as a guest in that country. Even if I eventually had gotten American citizenship, I would still feel like, you know what? This is a privilege that has been bestowed upon me. But, in the United States of America, they can take that from you. Oh, yeah. If you get that, except by birth. And even now, Trump trying to find a way to take it, even if you got it by birth. So let me be very, very clear. We're not ultra nationalists. We're not trying to be expat haters or anything of the sort. But people like Morning Boots do not deserve Cayman status. And I can say that with confidence. So immigration reform, politicians, if you get elected, once you form the government, you better put a task force together this time that you're actually going to listen to when it comes to immigration reform.
Exactly.
Red flags, not for nothing, but this PPM government, they were the ones when they were in who made it easier and harder for people to get status and harder for people to be rolled over. They moved it from 7 years to then 9 years?
To 9 years.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
There's nowhere in the world that you can go to a country and have a legitimate expectation of being able to stay there and work for as long as you want. And it's time that we stop this nonsense.
Yes, well, it's going to be made first.
It's not the catalyst for getting status. Money is not what it takes. Somebody sent me pictures saying, "Oh, he was an actress." Well, good Lord, there's some really poor standards. Who is Joe Cole? Is that a Caymanian that he's partners with? I don't know if that's a Caymanian or not, but he better try and double check himself. I mean, it's just absolutely disgusting. Unbelievable. Somebody sent me Mariah Carey's song, Obsessed. Song for the end of the show. Oh my Lord. Unbelievable. Wow.
But what is also unbelievable is that we have our current government not taking any responsibility for the mess that they have made in this country with immigration. No responsibility. They don't see that. They don't see that there's any need to send anybody back. They don't see there's any need to tighten the immigration. They just see that it should continue, that we still need more people, that we still need to make the money off of status, and we still need to make the money off permits so that we can fund NAU. They see nothing wrong with it. That is what is so sad. And these are our members of parliament that we're talking about, past and present. The ones that had the power. We have some of them saying you haven't been in power for 12 years, but yet he's sitting getting paid every day the Lord sends. So why are we paying him if he hasn't had any power or he hasn't, been able to do anything?
Trust me. Yeah, absolutely. And, not for nothing, but Makiva Bush is definitely one of those people who's been very, very pro developers coming here and getting everything that they want on a silver platter. So much so that we actually have, let's not forget the letter that we have. I'd have to see which month that was where I have that saved in my archives, but I have a whole folder here on McKeeva Bush, and one of those letters, which he had sent on a government fax machine, let me just see if I can find that again, is that was, I think, February, when we did a bit of an expose in Mac. Yeah, he, shockingly, McKeeva turns around and sends somebody a fax saying, oh yes, I have, I have all of your, I've received your deposit, now send the rest of your money. And then he lies to the people of the Cayman Islands, talking foolishness about, oh, that was for a real estate transaction. Your permit has been, your building project has been approved by cabinet. Now send me the rest of my money. What kind of nonsense is that? Mm-hmm. Direct evidence that our governments have sold us down the river, including the likes of McKeeva Bush. And yet our people sit back and continue to elect this man to office talking foolishness. How much more clear does it have to be in terms of what they have done and what they have not done for us? We have a facsimile that he sent this man back in the day from his tourism office, saying, please send me the balance of whatever money it was. That is called a payoff, folks. Nothing else can you call that. Good morning, caller.
Good morning again. Sandra, how long has this been going on?
Well, I'm proving here today that it's been going on a long time.
Came on to the super rich.
Yeah.
How long has status been for sale in Cayman to the super rich? And on top of that, what you just mentioned pertaining to the whatever it was, Westin, Marriott, McKeeva Bush, some famous facsimile, not held accountable for that. But the prosecutor's office in Cayman brings up these stupid trials about stealing from some book, misusing a credit card. For all of the matters of severe negative consequence to the Cayman Islands. None of that has ever reached the courthouse. Yeah, listen.
Well, I mean, the only thing I can say is at the time.
Has a word from McKeeva Bush, y'all.
Yeah, the
and
only.
It's FFB. But he's and it's F blank and a blank buffoon. But that their man serves a purpose to them.
Yeah.
And it boils down to the Roman rule of war, divide and conquer, because when you have somebody like that in power, it weakens the population. We're talking about solidarity. Well, those are the people who profit from destroying any solidarity. And they work in collusion with the people who come here to further their own interests at the expense of all of Cayman's well-being and interests, present and future. What do we see over and over again? We talk about people like McKeeva being uncouth with ladies. Yes, that is a problem. We talk about like McKeeva Bush being violent with ladies. Yes, that is a problem. But the acts that have been committed against the whole entire Cayman Islands, none of them have been allowed to see the interior of a courthouse. And there is a reason for that. And the reason for that is a long-established, institutionalized corruption in and of the Cayman Islands, wherein the interests of those in high levels of power and influence are given preference over the well-being and the interests of the Cayman Islands and her people. And it isn't only just people who are super rich being given the opportunity to buy their status here in Cayman. That is just the beginning of it. But all of this has a long history. Look at the levels of corruption, implicit corruption involved with the creation of the Ritz-Carlton. Was anything done about that? No, there wasn't. No accountability. Zero accountability has been had in that. Yet we laud this business as being something grand and wonderful. It was born of corruption from the get-go.
All right, my dear, please leave me there. Thank you very much. Miss Julie, you know, on April the 30th, the people of West Bay West will have an opportunity to go to the polls. And really, they have two decisions. They can continue to do things as they always have and really get nothing in the long term for it. No one looking out for their best interests. Tell us why your position here today is that the people should give you an opportunity and vote for you instead of the incumbent that they've had for the past at least 40 years, who has done very little to improve the quality of life for Caymanians.
Sandra, before I go into that, I just wanted to say that one of the things, we had a youth forum yesterday evening, and those are some of the things that I'm going to discuss today. Some of the points that our young people brought up to the potential MPs that were there hosting the forum, right? Mm-hmm. And that was front and center of their comments yesterday. They urgently want our government to be held more accountable. You know, these are young people between the age of 16 to 30. And that was one of their main points. Mm-hmm. You know, they are so fed up with unaccountable government and the way they do things and the way they you know, can just do anything they want to do and they're not held accountable. So I just want to say that you know, that's one of the things. But and on that same point, I would say that when I am elected, that's one of the things I have promised my people. You know, I'm going to be able to be held accountable because I want to get our district council mm-hmm. up and running as soon as possible after the election. That is one way of holding me accountable. I want to be held accountable. I want to be able to say to my people, this is what I'm doing on a quarterly basis. This is how I am representing you. This is what my office is doing. This is what we are planning. These are the laws that we are amending. You know, we have taken your suggestions. We know what needs to be done. And this is what we've gotten done in the first quarter. This is what we've gotten done in the first 100 days. This is what we're working on for the next 6 months. You know, in my meetings, in my appearances on the radio, I'm going to be committing to that, to be able to come back at least once a month and say, you know, this is what has happened this month. You know, that'll be the time for you to question me and say, well, you said so and so you were going to do this. I haven't seen that. I will have an answer for you. You know, I'm not saying that everything you're going to get done right away, but we all know how the system there. But I am saying and committing that I am going to be held responsible. I also am going to be saying that you're not going to see this MP, you know, in and out of a courthouse. You're not going to ever see that. You know, that's just not my character. You know, you're not going to see me doing some things in public that I shouldn't be doing, you know. So the people of West Bay West know me well. You know, they know what to expect. They know what they can expect. And they know why on April the 30th, they're going to elect me. Suffice it to say that I don't want to get into any mudslinging or anything of that line, but I will say that they know that when they elect me, they're going to have an MP that will stand up for them, one that's not going to be in cahoots with people that call us riffraffs, one that's not going to be selling out our country to put, you know, for the best interest of people that don't belong here in the first place. No. It's going to be what is good for my Caymanian people. And if it's not good for my Caymanian people, then my answer to those developers and those that come here that want to take over is going to be a big no, you know?
Absolutely, absolutely. What a mess. Sandra Coase says, Ms. Julie, you sound like the answer to her prayers. Well, let's hope that West Bay West understands that. Sandra Miller says, Ms. J, white people from Spanish countries can get to stay here, but not Jamaican grandfather. DNA is DNA. So I'm not really sure what that's about exactly. Miss Brenda, good morning, says Siobhan, you're so right, or people just don't understand. Marshall, good morning to you. Siobhan says, I believe the majority of people will vote back in people who haven't done anything for this island. Sad case of affairs. Well, you know, hopefully they will start to wake up because it's certainly not benefiting them. Freedom of speech says, who else was involved with overwhelming status grants, not just McKeeva. So please, let's not put a narrative over just his head. It seems people wish to forget which group of people were involved in this, like the likes of Raleigh, was involved too, and they set the trend for what happened after, with more and more being granted easily. Well, I mean, Ralston has certainly addressed this issue already, freedom of speech. So if you need to refer to what he said in relation to that, but let's be clear, anybody, in my opinion, who was a part of that UDP government has to take accountability for those mass status grants. But since then, freedom of speech, a lot has happened, and there's been a lot of subsequent governments. Mostly, the PPM government came in after that and had 12 to 15 years between them ruling and coalition governments, and they have actually not done anything about it. So, and not only have they not done anything about it, but we would argue with them making it harder to get rid of people with the rollover, that they've actually, in fact, made it worse. Aisle 2025 has a question for you. Says, what do you think about Kenny's new private jet terminal? This project should be stopped. It doesn't benefit us Caymanians. Why is he pushing it? Ms. Julie, that's a question for you.
Kenny's new private jet terminal?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm not aware of what they are talking about. I missed something, obviously.
Yeah.
Can you just enlighten me?
Well, I don't know much about it, but I guess he's speaking of Kenneth Bryan, the Minister of Tourism and Port, is planning on facilitating a private jet terminal. So I guess at the airport.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so another project that we don't need.
Well,
another project. I mean, take the park, the $50 million school, and now a jet terminal, private jet terminal. I think that when we updated or upgraded our airport, one of the travesty of justice is that we spent all of that money and we still didn't get jetways. I think that was absolutely incredible that happened. And to put something else for the private, for those, that's another project for the rich and famous. So, not any of us Caymanians are going to be on those private jets. So, I'll tell you what I think of that. We should be spending that money on our elderly. Let me go into some of the things now that we discussed yesterday with our youth, because I thought that was just a wonderful, informative engagement with our youth, and I want to get to some of the things that they discussed. But before I do that, I do want to dispel some of the myths that I've had to deal with this week on the campaign trail. I understand that our current member of Parliament got up on his our MP, for West Bay West, got up on his platform and said, Julie Hunter, stop taking down my signs, or that he accused me of taking down his signs. I just want to say that I had nothing to do with taking down his signs. That's just not me. I would never do that. And so he needs to get his facts straight. And I don't know who took down his signs, but it may be one of the public that was so outraged that he would have the audacity to put up signs like that on the West Bay Primary School fence.
Well, to be fair to him, we're not going to put out any misinformation on the man. We did check with the elections office, and Mr. Wesley sent us a copy of the law. There's nothing prohibiting him from putting his sign on the fence of the West Bay Primary School. So I guess he knows that after being in the game for 40 years. So he is allowed to do that. Whether or not that's in good taste, I suppose, is a very different question. But all I would do is put my sign right next to his. I mean, it's as simple as that, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's allowed to do that. We do have a question that someone is forwarding, I guess, from somebody else. It says, ask Julie if she is going to be like Saunders. Only I think that there's supposed to be a space there, her son and his Spanish wife will work in her office, as that's the talk on the road. Have you given any thought as to when elected, who will be working in your constituency office? I mean, obviously your son and all of your children, I think, have been instrumental in your campaign. But this question is, will you only be hiring family to work in your office like Chris Saunders? He's very, very famous for that.
No, that is not my intention at all. Right now, she is doing that on a volunteer basis until I'm elected. Mm-hmm. So, that's not my intention. And I will address that, going forward.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's just see. Anthony, morning, Anthony, says, I'm still confused as the purpose or idea of district councils in Cayman. Can she provide her idea what will be the purpose? My understanding of district councils deals with the basic below: education, fire, highways, including including on street parking, traffic management, and street lighting, libraries, recreation, so on and so forth. Isn't it kind of repetitive of what the MP's committee and MP office should be doing? I mean, Ms. Julie, do you have any real understanding of what the role of district councils are supposed to be?
Well, I know that one of the things that the district councils are supposed to be doing is feeding the needs and the of the constituency up to the MP. So if you as a constituent have basic needs that you need addressed and things in our community that needs to be done, the MP can't be responsible for every single thing. So those are the people that is going to feed all that information up to me and help me to get that organized, and I will have a team working with me that will help us to get things done more quickly, because there's strength in numbers. So if you have one person working for you, that's one thing, but if you have 15, that's a whole different ball game. You're able to get a lot more done. So responsible from that standpoint, that we will be able to take on more projects, we'll be able to get more done, we will be able to cover more of the basic needs of the community and help to address those needs, because we have more manpower, more people working with us and for us and together.
Mm-hmm. All right. Jonathan says a goddamn $54 million private jet terminal. It sure ain't for Kenneth Bryan's people that he pontificates about. Mm-hmm. KB's people are the ones who want to stick the Cayman people with the bill for $44 million plus dollar boondoggled brain fart. Lord have mercy.
Sandra, I want the people to know as well that I do not have. Is someone talking?
No, I was just wondering where this $44 million private jet terminal is supposed to go.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I don't know. Sorry.
I just want the people to know as well that I don't have a $4,000 budget, to pay an assistant as yet for my office. So, I've had to do the best that I can do. And at least I have an office, and at least I have it covered. I have, someone there that is volunteering. So, I think that we need to be grateful for that. I think we need to applaud her for the fact that she was willing to do it, without being paid. And like I say, when I have that budget for $4,000, like the current MP, then things will be different, and I will be able to hire somebody that,
Well, tell us a little bit about this, because there might be a lot of people that don't even know that you have an office already, that you've opened an office.
Oh, I opened my office from February 19th. My office is open Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays from 11 till 3.
Mm-hmm.
And it's right past the West Bay Clinic, the Brown House. Well, they'll see the sign. It's right beside the West Bay Clinic, coming toward Liberty's Restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, another one of the things I've had to I've just had to deal with this week is the sign. I want to just talk about that. The current MP put out a sign saying that I was a trainee. Sandra, well, last time I checked, I must have been the longest trainee ever, because I've been working in my community for as long as I can remember. I just want to address the volunteerism. 2013, Mr. Bush was the one that presented me with an honor, right? 2013. Some of the criteria for that is to be working 5 to 10 years before the award. So that would have been then 10 years would have been 2003. I've gotten 2 awards since 2013, being honored for volunteerism on National Heroes Day. One for volunteerism, one for volunteering with the youth, one for volunteering with NPOs. So for him to say that I'm a trainee, my career speaks for itself. So I don't know a trainee in what area he's talking about, but I just want to say I thought that was so disrespectful and so distasteful, and that he's just grasping at straws at this point because he knows that his days are numbered. So I just want to put that out there, as well as to say that 2 of my signs were broken down. I still have not gotten any help at all from the police. People saw who broke down the signs. They have a witness, but yet nothing has been done about my signs. And I understand that was one of his supporters, because we have an eyewitness for that. So, those are the kind of things I've been dealing with. But I must say that I've had some very good interactions as well on the campaign trail. I've gotten to know so many people. I've gotten a phenomenal support. So I've gotten to know a lot of people in the community that I did not know before, because a lot of the people in the community that I grew up in, have moved in the last few years and have gotten to, have gotten Cayman status and gotten residency and can now vote. But those have been some excellent interactions. I can't say that I've not gotten some heart-rending interactions as well, because when I've seen some of the people that have, are being evicted because of, circumstances beyond their control, when I've seen some of the people that have nothing for their children, those are the kind of things that have been really, really heart-rending and shows how desperate our island has become. I've seen things like why the traffic is, well, we all know why the traffic is the way it is. Like I've counted 9 cars in a 2-bedroom house in the night as I've driven by. 9 cars with expatriates living there, all on work permits. Those are the kind of things that we need to address. But apart from that, I've had some excellent interactions. One of the interactions that I said was one of my favorite interactions on this campaign trail was the youth engagement social that we had last night. Some of the things that we talked about, and that's some of the things that I want to talk about this morning. They said that we need to immediately do a scorecard for MPs. They said that they should be showing total years of community involvement and such service to be detailed, not 3 months before election. So in other words, they want MPs to show what they have done in the community before they even sign up for being a member of parliament, before they even run for election. They say that those are the kind of things that should be addressed. They said that to be able to tie their professional background with politics and show how they will be able to use their professional background to benefit the Cayman Islands is one of the things that should be dealt with. They said, of course, no high school dropouts. So I'm not sure exactly who they were referring to there, but no high school dropouts should be allowed. And then they said that MPs should be surrounding themselves by young people on their boards and on their advisory boards, so that young people can be taken more seriously. They said right now they don't feel like they have a voice. They don't feel like they have a seat at the table. And in order for them to be taken serious, that the MPs that are running should have involved them in the process going forward, and as well as when they are elected. But even before they're elected, they're saying that their voices should have been heard and they should have been at the table, so that they could have let the MPs know what's important to them. So I thought that was significant. Then we asked them, what do you need more from your government?
We do have a caller. Can we just take the caller? Morning, caller.
Good morning, honey child.
Good morning.
Cayman.
Good morning. Good morning. Good. How are you?
Good morning.
Blessed and highly favored. Person with a headache this morning, but I'm still tuning in. Miss Julie, let me assist you here 1 minute, ma'am. I heard Roy state that these new candidates are non-experienced. We have no experience. Of all of the stuff that we have done in the communities, which, by the way, should have been done by them.
Exactly.
Or them, someone in representing them, getting done in our communities. That is being experienced. You understand? So what they're talking is what we would call ballooning. We are tired of the broken record. We are tired of the hot air. Or as the Jamaicans would say, we're tired of them running off them M16 with no bullet. You understand? It is time for action. It is time for work for Caymanians. It's time for things to get done. And we have been getting things done in our community without their help. Mm-hmm. So what is it that they're really saying that we're inexperienced in?
And trainees and inexperienced. Yeah, but we're the ones that get things done.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. We are the ones that are getting things done. And what I want to share with them as well is with the development concessions that they've been giving away. Look at the triple effect that has caused. Not only are local business owners to lose revenue, but also cutting workers from jobs. That is disgusting. And now they've got the nerve to come and knock down on people's doors. Please vote for me. Please vote for me. Huh? When is you the reason I don't have a job today?
Exactly. Exactly. Gave it away, sell out our country, and then they want another term. Like I said last night when I was speaking at Carmen's meeting, this is what experience has brought us. They're saying they're now the saviors. They're now the ones to come back and resurrect things. They're now the ones to come and bring the country back. But you were the one that had the country. You were the current government. You were the current government. So how are you coming now and saying that you need us to elect you because you need to put the country back on track? But it's you that got the country off of track.
Exactly. You cannot be a part of the solution if you are a part of the problem.
That's right.
Thank you, caller. Thank you very much. All right. What a mess, Miss Julie.
Yeah. So Sandra, I just thought it was so significant that when we asked we asked three main questions, right? What do you need more from your government? What are the things that worry you? And what does your generation need more of? So under some of the things that I just jotted down, some of the things that they were saying, and when they said, what do you need more of from your government? Top of that list, the first one that they spoke up was they need more help for the elderly. I just thought that was so significant coming from young people, that even them recognize that our elderly is not being fairly treated and that they are at a disadvantage in this country with the way that things have gone as far as their insurance and getting help from, for medical and, just being able to have accessibility, have rides, just a myriad of things. I also thought that it was significant when they said that we need to cap car licenses. There's too many cars on the road. It just needs to be a cap, for non-Caymanians for right now until we can get public transport sorted. And then that was one of the things, a practical working transport system. And some of them were saying they're here now on a break from college, and they were saying how easy it is to just get around in the UK and the US, in other parts of the world. And they take the transport system all the time without even blinking an eye. And they would gladly do so here if we had a proper transport system, and that is one way that we can help to get some of these cars off the road. And then they were saying that they think we should have tougher qualifications for getting a driver's license. And that is why we're having so much accidents on the road, because the qualifications to get a driver's license is so lenient. So I hadn't thought as much about that before. I just know that people are driving recklessly and speeding. And I thought that was more the reason for all of these accidents. But they're saying, no, in their opinion, they think that to get a driver's license, need to be a lot tougher qualifications. They also said that another thing that they need more of from the government is to take climate change more seriously. I don't know if you have any feedback on any of those things that I've mentioned so far, but we had really, really good discussions around those things that that they were discussing. And like I told them, I said, even some of my supporters, saying, every time you get up on the platform, you basically talk about the elderly and what you want to do for the elderly. So you need to address some of the other issues. But like I said to them last night, that is one thing that's near to my heart, because I have seen what some of our elderly are facing in the community. I see it every day, and I see the conditions that they're living in. I see, those that are retired and, are on $500 a month pension. I see it, and I know that cannot go anywhere near what it takes to, to live in the Cayman Islands. So that is near and dear to my heart.
Okay, we do have a caller on the line. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Yes, good morning again, Sandy. A pleasant good morning to you, Julie.
Good morning.
Speaking of in your area of a 2-bedroom with 9 vehicles parked out front, This is a problem seen in Cayman in many neighborhoods where there's multiple vehicles, 5, 8, 10 vehicles parked in front of a 2 or 3 bedroom rental. And, this is part of the problem with so many vehicles on the road. We're just giving everybody and their mother the right to buy a vehicle on work permits, and it's just congesting the roads more and more every day, making it more and more difficult. And there has to be something done about that with this new administration going in to curb this being allowed.
Definitely. That's one of the things that we want to advocate for, is that we would cap that at 1 per household if you're expatriate, In fact, another problem as well is, the people that are renting these apartments and these houses, we need to give them some of the responsibility as well. Because if you have a 2-bedroom house, why are you renting that to 10 and 12 people? That is ludicrous that you don't have any more control over your property than that.
All right, we have another caller. I think we're getting some feedback on that call. So good morning, caller.
Good morning, Sandy.
Yes, morning.
Listen, this thing about traffic, we are just going around in circles. We have migrant workers, and until we have a proper public transport system, whether you want to cap or not, it's not going to change, because people have to move around. We need a proper public transportation system. If people has to get to work, how are they going to do it? We need to stop beat around the bush and just hold the bull by the horn. A public transportation system is the only thing that's going to change, that's going to solve our problem. And with accidents on the road, our police need to be more vigilant. These people, they go through, listen, to take the test to drive on the road, listen, they go through the proper training. But as soon as they get the license, everything is out of their head. That is where we need the police, traffic department to deal with things. It's not about making it harder to get a license. It's not gonna change. Even if you make it harder, persons will do the test, they will pass, but when they go on the road, they will do foolishness. You hit people where they feel the most, and it's in their pocket. So they will think twice when they go out on the road and do foolishness.
Thank you, caller.
Okay.
All right. Ms. Julie, anything else that you wanted to cover this morning?
Things that worry me from our young people were overdevelopment, and the persons that we're developing for, they ask, who are we developing for? And they're most concerned about, overdevelopment was top on their list. And then they also said things that worry them were that they need more open criteria for scholarships. Apparently, a lot of the granting of scholarships are done around certain areas, and it needs to be more broader. And they were saying, it's difficult for artists, for instance. They just gave one instance to get scholarships, and that was concerning. And then what does our generation need more of? They said they need more opportunities for work. They need more involvement into things that concern our youth. They need a seat at the table, and they need more hobbies, attractions, and more sporting events for young people. And they said that young people should be at the seat when they're developing and when they're doing, when these things are being thought of, like what can you do for young people, that young people need to be telling us, the government, what it is that they want or what it is that they would go to, not just bringing out things and then that they're not interested in. So I thought that those were more, those were a lot of very, very thought-provoking things coming from young people. And us as future MPs really need to stand up. And I know I intend to, like I told them, I want all your numbers, I want all your names so that I can engage further with you, because I want to have more youth forums and, more times like this, young people socials, that we can engage with you and get your feedback. They also said that and I think this is a thing that everybody was saying that all the referendum questions were much too vague to give answers for. They said they need lots more information before they can say a yes or no answer. So apparently a lot of them are not going to be voting in most of the referendum questions. They also said that in all the places that they have gone, and most of the places, they have not seen the dock with the cruise facility. And so they think it's unsightly for us to have the dock in the middle of Georgetown, and that needs to be separated. And they also said that it's time that they can set a better criteria for who can run for offices. And they said that they don't think that anybody that have offenses should be able to run for office. And another thing that I thought was significant, they said that there should be term limits, and that most of our current MPs have overstayed their term and were no longer effective. So those are some of the comments coming in from our young people.
Mm-hmm. All right, you've got a caller. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Good morning. Good morning, Sandra. Good morning, Miss Julie.
Good morning, dear.
Good morning.
On the issue of traffic, someone like me who exercises daily on West Bay Road in West Bay, where I live, a certain part of the district. I live in West Bay Central. And I can't tell you the numerous times I have called the police in West Bay, the police in Georgetown. I now refuse to speak to a foreign officer because there are no help. The last call I made about traffic a couple of weeks ago to Georgetown police station, I was on the phone with an officer, and in the background, I heard another officer running his mouth. And I said to the officer, tell the other officer in the office or where you are in the police station, so please shut his mouth. I am not having a conversation with two people. I'm having a conversation with you. Up all till now, I have seen no presence on certain parts. From the time you hit the corner on Birch Tree Hill, you come all the way down where you can exit to go to Andresen Road, or you come around and continue what turns in from Birch Tree Hill to Conch Point Road. You go all the way down to Barker's, where Papagallo Restaurant and condos are. You come out and you can go down on Captain Reginald. The madness that is going on those roads, the speeding, people smoking weed in their cars, people's vehicles unworthy with lights actually dropping off of the back of the tail light. The police is nowhere to be seen or heard. Other than I look from where I live on Birch Tree Hill, and I looked out the window, and I see the police SUV driving past slowly. And what is, as I have always been saying about the police to Mr. Kurt Walton, who doesn't want to do nothing about the traffic issue in West Bay, the police driving around with closed up vehicles, looking. That's what the police are doing. Where are our community police officers? There's none in the district. Sandra and Miss Julie, the speeding is terrible. I have to literally jump in people's lawn to avoid being hit by cars. If I go out at night and I take a walk, I carry a very bright flashlight. The cars still keep coming speeding all hours of night. We're hearing this old bang-a-tang-a-tang-a-tang, boom-boom this and a dicky-dicky this. All of this vulgarness that is going on, going down the road with all of these vehicles, these all imported. I'm going to tell you what they are. They are imported, wore-out pieces of Japanese vehicle junk that the government, successive governments for the last 20 years have allowed these people to import and put on our road. Yes, we have a problem with foreign drivers. They are a big problem. They don't know how to drive. And the biggest way to stop these foreign drivers that don't know how to traverse our roadways are to put limits on everything that they do. Yes, there needs to be a limit on them not getting a license. Yes, we need a proper bus transport system, but we first need our police to police the roadways so the people of our district can go about their business on their scooters, their bicycles, or whatever, walking, doing whatever, day or night, and feel safe. There is no police presence in West Bay. and I am calling out Mr. Kurt Walton this morning. Mr. Kurt Walton, you, as a police commissioner, has already failed the people of the Cayman Islands. I do not feel safe on our roadways. And if I do not feel safe, Mr. Kurt Walton, the rest of the public isn't. The crime has gone where you only see the police when something happens. It is the same with the traffic problem in West Bay and the speeding and the madness and the just total disrespect and disregard for anyone else on the roadway. I want laws put in place for these foreign workers that they cannot drive, because that will take traffic to a less of a minimum on our roadways until we can get a proper bus transport system. Another problem is the last 3 weeks, I have made it a point when I am in a bus and the bus drivers who are foreigners, mostly rude Jamaicans. They are rude. I confronted 2 of them, a Jamaican and someone else, I think it was from Belize or Guyana. And I told them, you either slow down or I'm going to report you. I will say what I got to say to that, then I will end it. Couple of days later, I got the same gentleman on the bus and I said to him, I watched and I looked and I said, oh my God, don't tell me this driver listened to what I told him. And he did. You know what he did? I got out of the bus in Georgetown and I come all the way from Birch Tree Hill. And I said to him when I got out, and he had 2 American tourists that were staying at the Ritz. And I said to him, you remember me, sir, when I told you a couple of days ago about your pathetic speeding on these roads? Well, let me tell you what you have done. I said, sir, whatever you have done, since I spoke to you, keep it up. I said, I just came on the bus with other passengers. There was about 8 to 10 of us in, and there was 2 left, the 2 American tourists staying at the Ritz, because they wanted to take the drive up and they wanted to take shop in Georgetown and come back down. And I said to him, you have improved your driving skills 100%. I felt as if I had just taken a personal tour with you, but you had 10 persons in your bus that were paying you. And the American tourist said, yeah. I said, thank you. Keep it up, sir. The other Jamaican driver, he has slowed down also. They don't know how to drive. They don't care. They are disrespectful. And the first thing government has to go in is to confront these drivers and make it, if they are to be in our bus system, whether they run in the districts with these small minibuses. All of these minibuses are ridiculously, terribly maintained. There's one operator in West Bay that refuses to maintain his bus. I ain't calling his name, but it's terrible how his buses are. He runs them till they don't run no more.
So you have to wonder where's public transport in all of this?
Yes, where's public transport? I'll tell you, Sandra, where it is. When I went and complained to them, you know what they gave me at the little booth at the public transport there next to the, to the library? He hands me a piece of paper to fill out and send in. That's why nothing is getting done. They used to come on the buses before and see how the bus drivers are driving. They don't do that no more either. But the police has to start with their presence. They have to come out of these expensive vehicles. I see the police just got more money again. They just gave the police more money again, Sandra and Miss Julie. To do what with the money? To waste the people's money? You know, when someone gets killed on these roads, God forbid it is a visitor in West Bay, the visitor is going to sue the Cayman Islands and the person that killed them. So we need a police presence. Mr. Kurt Walton, I gotta say this like I told Juju, who's my cousin from Cayman Bride.
I have lived in Cayman for 30 years. I have watched you go through the ranks, Mr. Walton, Mr. Kurt Walton. You have failed me as the police commissioner. You have failed the people of the Cayman Islands. And if you do not come out and address the issue of the problem of traffic in the district of West Bay, Mr. Kurt Walton, I am going to personally make a big sign, and I am going in front of the government administration building next to that piece of derelict glass house that is full of asbestos that has sat there for 30 years. And government done nothing. They need to knock it down, build a 10-story car garage, charge people $100, and solve the problem in Georgetown with one 10-story. These people don't know how to solve problems. And the mentality of the voter in Cayman, they keep voting in the same idiots that do nothing.
All right, my dear. Thank you.
One other little topic, and then I'll go. Health in the Cayman Islands. Every 7 out of 10 persons is obese or overweight. Just park your car and watch the primary school children coming off of the buses and the children coming out of the high school buses. They are overweight. So the mic, you would grin and smile. Where are the healthy meals in school? We provide meals for our children, but where are the healthy meals in school? We have to get this problem nipped. We not only have a health crisis, we have a financial crisis. Because like your show said yesterday with Mr. Alric Lindsay, we are not in debt to the tune of $1 billion. We are in debt 2-something billion. Tell the country what we owe.
Yeah.
Because we are broke.
Yes, I tell you what to call. I don't know if you saw, we posted this, I think it was day before yesterday. A mother reached out to us about signage for KFC that was on school grounds. Now, listen, we have advertisers here on this program that's fast food, and, you know, they're going to advertise, and that's what platforms like this are for. What I don't agree with is putting it in schools and putting it on school fences and gates where children are going to be seeing that every single day. Because I think you're absolutely right. Unfortunately, as parents, we're struggling trying to keep our children healthy with healthy meals. They're getting junk in the schools. They're getting junk at home. And a lot of us are eating the wrong things and setting a very, very poor example for them. So we have a healthcare crisis, and don't make any doubts about it. That healthcare crisis has a financial impact to the tune of at least directly $25 million out of the government budget. And it's even higher than that when you think about all the illnesses that are linked to obesity, the diabetes, the high blood pressure, heart disease, you know, all of these things. Yes,
it's all linked.
Absolutely. So we need to have a healthier society for sure. And I challenged the last government. I guess they were so stressed out with everything, they never got to it. But I'm going to challenge whoever gets in again this time that they need to start by setting the example. They all need to, whoever is cabinet, they should start a 90-day. We can start with 90 days. Get Fit program, and CMR will help them promote the heck out of that. Go walking on a regular basis. It helps with your stress as well. Get your little exercise in. Have some good nutritional advice, the whole 9 yards. But we have got to put the health of our nation first as well, because without health, nothing else matters. Tourism doesn't matter. Financial services don't matter. Because our people are going to be dying prematurely.
I would be one of the persons that step forward and say, you live in the district of West Bay, come go walking with me in the evening. You want to find out how exercise is done? Come let me show you what I can do. I can stand on my 2 feet, take 1 foot up and stretch, and people look at me when I'm stretching. How can you do this? You do it because you build the stamina and the strength. Walking is the best form of exercise. It is gentler on your joints, and you get every muscle exercise once you stretch. People have to learn to not look at this junk in the food. Sandra, there is an app
I am going to say it to you, and I've been meaning to tell you it. It is. I found him on YouTube. He eats healthy. With his wife and little daughter. You got to see how they eat. They don't eat the junk. His name is Bobby Parrish. It's called Bobby Approved App, either on iOS or Android. You download the app. You don't have to sign up to his stuff. You just, it has a barcode scanner. You open that app. You hit that scanner. You pick up the barcode in the supermarket. You scan it. If it's Bobby approved, it comes up green. If it's almost, it's not. Yeah. If it's not, it's red. He says, and list every ingredient.
There's lots of
look at all that junk that is in there, you would never touch the bread. The bread is full of vegetable oil that cause inflammation. People got to understand all of this non-organic oats, rice, barley, all of this processed flour is sprayed with what? Glyphosate. What is glyphosate? Glyphosate is Roundup, bought and owned by Monsanto, the conglomerate out of Europe. When you spray to kill weeds with glyphosate, it goes into your food. Therefore, I put nothing that is not organic in my body. My deodorants are not with no chemicals. My washing, bathing, everything is chemical free. If you scan those things, he highlights the items, Sandra, you would be shocked to see the crap in our food that we are eating.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I probably wouldn't be shocked. But caller, let me ask you a question. I'm sure Miss Julie's here listening to you. You say you live in West Bay. I'm sure you could be a real asset, although you might not necessarily be in her area. Would you be willing to offline send her your information so that she could reach out to you? Because you've had a lot of very good points this morning.
No problem. I watch what happens in my district.
Yes, ma'am.
And I can tell you, want me to tell you how bad real estate is right now, Sandra? I want you to take a drive. If you can this weekend, you come down Birch Tree Hill. And when you get over the little hill that we have in Birch Tree, as I call it, you come down and you pass Bankers Road, which is on the right. You will see a set of apartments called Arza. It's next to Julia. I'll tell you where it is. It's next to Mr. Connor's old Texaco gas station. Because I might be a Kim and Brackefer, but I still Caymanian, but I consider myself a Bear too. Because I got Bear family in me. You look at those apartments. There are 5 real estate signs up there. Not one sign, I think, is a Caymanian. That's a real estate office person, agent. That's another problem. You got 5 real estate signs up there. You cannot sell one of those, and it's about more than 20 apartments there. And they are selling a 1-bedroom for $299,000. Now, which college graduate that can't find no job, if they do find one, is going to be able to afford $299,000 for one little cubby hole, Sandra? And you do not even have a partition between the apartments. When people sit on their patios upstairs for privacy, you got to face the traffic for the one that's pointing to the Birch Tree Hill Road, and there's no partition. You come out on your patio, and everyone neighbors can see, hear, and do whatever you're doing. See it and hear it. Then down the road, there's another 3 or 4 down Captain Vincent Lane that is trying to be sold. And right now, they put up real estate signs from Thursday afternoon for Saturday. This foolishness has to stop. Who are we building this crap for? We're not building it for Caymanian. Remember, whatever we are in debt, it is 4 or 5 generations down the line that has to suck it up and figure it out somehow. So all
right, someone is just asking, my apologies, someone is just asking for the name of that guy again so they can find the app.
It's Bobby, B-O-B-B-Y, approved app.
Okay, Bobby approved app.
Let me tell you, it's a little green app with a little, what I will do is I will screenshot it and send it to your...
Yeah, we got it. Don't worry. Yep, I got it. I'm going to send it.
And he is so smart. When you, and I mean, Sandra...
Yeah, there's several food scanner apps, but yeah, this one looks interesting. But thank you, and leave me there.
Yeah, he gives you he gives you the list, and you can hit on that list. And you look when you go to the supermarket what Foster's, Kirk's, or Hurley's has.
Yeah.
We have to start eating healthier, Miss Julie.
Yeah.
If I could vote for you, I would vote for you. I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
In there now, he needs to go. He's on
Thank you.
Came on down and make us go on a route that the UK with Julie and the rest of them is going to come in here and rule Cayman like it did the Turks and Caicos. Because not only do I listen what happening in Cayman, I listen to what happening around the world. And
Thank you, my dear.
We
Yes,
are in the
ma'am.
mess. Thank you. God bless. Have a great weekend.
Yes.
You all stay safe on the road.
Thanks too.
Thank you. Thank you.
So yes, folks, you can check this out. It's called Bobby Approved Food Scanner. It's available in your respective app stores. And it looks like, because some of the food scanners will give you like caloric information and stuff like this. It looks like what this app does is it is looking to give you healthier options. So when you're looking at things, it'll tell you like what's in there. So yeah, thank you so much for making that recommendation to us. I'll certainly be downloading it and checking it out. So make healthier food choices based on what is in the grocery store.
Yeah, that was excellent information, actually.
I guess his name is Bobby. So,
Bobby, yes.
Bobby approved app, and you can scan it, and then it'll tell you what's all the hidden stuff on there. And he actually goes around. I see some of his videos on YouTube. He goes around to a lot of the popular US stores like Costco, Walmart, and so on, and scans different food products so that you can see exactly, what's in those packages and stuff. The bottom line is the less processed food we eat, folks, the better. So ground provisions, get your fresh stuff, your fresh fruits and vegetables. You can do so much more. A lot of us just want to pick up a package, and you got to look at the ingredients. The more ingredients it has in it, the chances are the less likely it's going to be healthy for you. Everything. Ketchup. Ketchup is one of I know a lot of Caymanians love them some ketchup, boy, but ketchup is one of the worst things actually that you can add to your diet, because some people want to put it on everything. They want ketchup with fries. They want ketchup on the burger. They want ketchup in rice. They want ketchup in everything. And it is so loaded with sugar. That's the biggest problem with ketchup, is it has a lot of sugar in it. And as we know, that sugar has some real detrimental effects. So, there's so many things I've been watching lately, just talking about our diet in terms of healthy meal prep options. They're flavorful, they're still delicious. So, we can eat better, but a lot of condiments in particular have a lot of hidden things that you have to be very, very careful with. All right, Miss Julie, thank you so much for coming on the program today. We have one final question I think maybe we can squeeze in for you. Dee Dee says, a question for Miss Julie. Should you be elected, what will you put in place to ensure that drivers are completing their routes, especially in the eastern districts, because they are and have always been leaving people, mostly Northsiders and East Enders at Frankstown Junction, to hitch a ride to their homes?
Oh, okay. Well, that again goes back, like you said before, to the public transport system, who are not monitoring these, because a couple of reports later, action should be taken. The people that this is happening to, it's for them as well to let us know what's happening, and so that we can report this to Transport Board and maybe get some action there. But that's the first thing we need to start with. But of course, we're saying that we need to get a different, complete overall of our public transport system in the long run as well. So, all of that need to be addressed, but we definitely do need upgrading. I agree with that. That's one of the first things we need to do, is our public transport system needs to be upgraded, enhanced. We need to, like the lady said before, the drivers need to be educated on not only the routes, but look at her experiences with how fast they were going and everything. All of that needs to be taken in consideration. And, once you get a couple of complaints from about a particular driver, then that driver needs to be suspended. That would be one of the things that, in my mind, would help immediately, because, 2 suspensions and then you're out, But I do want to say, Sandra, before I go, I just want to make sure that I invite everybody to my big meeting tomorrow night in Bolton's Avenue, right in Town Hall Crescent. As you come in, the first entrance to Town Hall Crescent, past the West Bay Dock, that first entrance is going to be right there in the open lot there. And it's going to be a wonderful evening. It's going to be culture. It's going to be endorsements. It's going to be good food. It's going to be entertainment. I'm not even going to tell you who's going to be there as an entertainer, but you will want to come. So I want to invite everybody tomorrow evening to my rally at 7:00 in Bolton's Avenue.
All right. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Miss Julie.
Thank you for having me today. Have a great weekend, everyone, and God bless.
All right, my dear. Thank you so much. And again, she's got a meeting tomorrow evening. Please go out to the meeting. We'll post all the details there on social media. We should be live streaming it as well, so you can check it out if you're not able to go. But this is the fun time for you to go out and meet the candidates and in person and see what they're all up to. Sorry, Jonathan, no more phone calls for the morning. Folks, going into the weekend, as always, please have a safe and amazing and wonderful weekend. I hope that you guys, will continue to not drink and drive, because this is one of the reasons as well that we have so many accidents on our roadways. And, just take your time out there, folks. There's no place that you need to be in a hurry that is going to make that much of a difference. You getting there 2 seconds quicker and then having an accident as a result of it. All right. So thank you. Somebody on Instagram earlier was asking about the chicken in Jamaica. We did address that already and talk about that. But yes, that is a chicken that is brought in here. There is a Cayman distributor for that chicken. Uncle Clem's seems to be the primary company that has it. But even Foster's apparently on occasion buys it from Uncle Clem's as well. So we do have a video. We were going to try to get to it today, but we kind of ran out of time. I'd like for our listeners on the radio to also get to hear the video. So what we'll do is we'll play that on Monday's show at about the couple minutes before 9:00 so that they can get the benefit of listening to that. All right. Bye, guys. Have a safe and amazing, beautiful weekend. We might be in for a little rain from what I can see, but until then, until Monday, please be safe and take care of yourselves.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Cold Hard Truth on Bobo 89.1 FM. Cayman's #1 talk show is live weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Never miss an episode again. Watch anytime on CMR's Facebook and YouTube channels for the latest show episodes. Don't forget to follow us online on our social media channels. And visit CaymanMarlRoad.com for all the latest news and community happenings.